Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Carole and this is my channel So Carole, and you're joining me on hashtag Friday Sews. So I'm in my room at the end of the garden today just for a change of scenery, and it's actually lovely and warm. Would you believe it? England has finally been having a little bit of summer. Now what I'm wearing today is, I don't know if anybody of you recognise it. We haven't talked much about it this year and we did a lot last year, but it's the 8640. This was a dress I made when I went to meet Jen and Trish last year, almost a year ago now. So I thought I would wear it because it reminded me of Florida, and that's why I chose this print. So yeah, it's a lovely warm day, so the 8640 has come out and it's in a lovely viscose, so it's beautiful. Now, of course, Friday Sews was started by the lovely Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room, who has a wonderful channel, and she has enabled us all to get together on a Friday in one place and just chat about all the things we've been sewing, all the things we want to sew, tell you about our sewing machines, our sewing rooms, and then we squeeze a little bit about life in the end. I'm actually so I have made a few things this week. I have been sewing. But I'm so excited to tell you a tiny bit about life, and that is I had a visit from the lovely Katinka from the seamstress at the cottage. Now, I'm sure a lot of you know Katinka. She's actually used to live in South Africa, which used to fascinate me, and I absolutely used to love watching her and her life over there. She's a professional dressmaker. She's absolutely wonderful, designs her own patterns. She's an incredible lady, knits everything. Anyway, she's currently staying in the UK and she's been doing a kind of a tour of the UK, and she's met up with a couple of us YouTubers, and she came to visit me the other day. And you know, every now and again you come across somebody in life that's just that bit special, and you know they are that bit special, and that you'll remember meeting them forever, and Katinka is one of those ladies. She brought me some wonderful gifts. She'd made some items. She'd made an elderflower cordial, I had some rose tea, I had some rhubarb jam and some rhubarb crumbles, so all ready to go in a crumble. I've just got to put the topping on it. So that was amazing. And then she also made me something for my sewing room. This wonderful little antique cup and saucer, and of course she's made it into a pincushion, and being blue it matches my room. Katinka, it was just wonderful to meet you. We had such a giggle. I think we spent about 3 hours together, absolute laugh. She's got an electric car that she's borrowed, and I'd never been in an electric car before, and I found it fascinating. I'm not saying it's particularly sold an electric car to me, because we had to try and find somewhere for her to charge it, but definitely a different experience. While she was charging her car, I took her into my beloved forest, which is over the road from me and stretches sort of the whole of our town, and we just had a lovely walk around there, and it was wonderful because both of us love the outdoors and walking. So that's a mini bit about life, but yeah. Oh, if you ever get a chance to meet up with anybody that you've made friends with online, whether you're a viewer and you just want to meet, let's say, another viewer or a YouTuber, snap the opportunity because you won't regret it. I will just say, actually, before I move on to what I've been sewing, is that she came into my sewing room, and obviously I was showing her sort of the new layout and whatever, and I was wearing a top that had a curved hem. And she said, "Oh, that's a nice top." And I said, "I know, I've made one, but I've never made another because the curved hem really gave me hassle." I made it in a viscose twill. I'll see if I can dig a picture out for you. And it was getting that curved hem so it didn't look bulky, and it would make the top hang. So she said, "Oh, get me a piece of scrap fabric." So I did, and she said, "Oh, how do you turn your machine on?" And then did this, and then she used my overlocker, and she said, "Okay, we'll put the iron on, we'll press it," and then It was amazing. I've never had anybody using my machines in my room before. And she was just amazing because she's the sort of person that wants to teach you. She just loves teaching. So I had a lesson from the great Katinka, and I was thrilled that she just showed me an easy way of doing the curved hem. Just with an overlocker and then a straight stitch and pulling as you go. Fantastic. Sorry, I'll now talk about what I've been sewing. First of all, I'll start off with the dress that I'm making, the Simplicity 9041. I'm making this very sadly for a funeral on Monday. It's my lovely aunt. She was 93, so she had a wonderful life. But I made it in this kind of blue viscose fabric. I'm showing you it on the photos, but I haven't hemmed it yet because I'm waiting for the very last minute. Because it's a viscose, obviously it's been on the mannequin and it's dropping, but I just want to wait to the last minute to hem it. But overall, I was really happy with this pattern. I did ask if any of you had made it and to let me know how you get on, but nobody commented, so I don't know how many people have made this pattern. The only thing Jen said was be careful of those sleeves, because I was going to make those sleeves, because they may swamp you. She was exactly right. I will show you a photo before I trim them down. They were enormous. And I just felt they overwhelmed me a little bit. The dress isn't kind of my normal style, but I did want something kind of smart and slightly a bit more formal for the occasion, obviously. So with the sleeves in the end, I ended up taking, I think, 4 inches off the length just to make it a little bit more shorter. And it kind of raised the look of the dress up. But apart from that, I didn't do much tweaking. I'm going to, haven't yet, but I'm going to sort of clip it over or sew it over so it doesn't gape, because I'm not a massive fan of sort of wraps. But yeah, good pattern. The ties are really, really long. You can kind of wrap them round and round. I did put pockets in. It did make me think about pockets though. Why are pockets always the same size, no matter what size you cut out of the pattern? So if you're using a small size, which I did, I think I used a size 8, it's quite a big pocket in relation to the skirt or the dress. So I thought the other day, yeah, why are pockets always the same size? Because, you know, if you're doing a bigger size, you're going to have a bigger area that it's going to kind of get lost into. But are all our hands the same size? I don't know. That thought occurred to me this week. Another thing I managed to get done, and I'm really pleased, was the New Look mid-length sleeve t-shirt, and I made the one exactly basically as in the photo on the front cover. So this was New Look 66351. I had the striped fabric, and I have to say I did a pretty good job of the stripes on it. More or less joins up on the side. My husband said that they're about 1 millimetre out, but I think we'll get away with that. The cool bit was the sleeves, actually. Look at the sleeve head. That was pure chance. But what I did work on was making sure I got this navy stripe on the band all the way around even. That's the one thing I really wanted to achieve, because if that's wrong, if that navy stripe had kind of wandered or disappeared a bit, then I knew it was going to look not too professional. But yeah, I managed to get that right. So that was that. So it's a nice, smart little top, and I was pleased on the navy stripe. I had chance this week to make another pair of Simplicity 9471. Now, I've been wanting to make another one of these for quite a few months. I made it in, it was like a green linen. It was a linen I had that went wrong before. I dyed it and it went wrong, but it came out a fantastic pair of trousers. I did a review on this pattern because I absolutely loved it. And I had some beige kind of viscose linen-y mix, and I managed to make up another pair. This is a pattern I really, really enjoy because of all the different pockets, believe it or not. Sorry, it's all scrumpled. But you've got these front pockets, you've got back pockets, you've got a side pocket. I just love doing them. It's got a front as most trousers have a back yoke, don't they? But this one's got a front yoke as well. It's got a zip fly, it's quite high-waisted, but it's just a really enjoyable make. It's got those funny pockets that kind of fold back up on itself. This front piece is, I think I described it in my pattern review and I did it. It's quite a strange way to do, but it works out in the end. But yeah, I managed to make another pair of those. Now, the very first pair I made, the green pair, I was never quite sure on the length. On the model, it actually shows just above the ankles. Well, I thought mine were a little bit too long to look like it was not one or the other. So I took an inch off the length of these, and I'm still not sure about the length of them. They look cropped, but not fully cropped. So they are what they are. I will be wearing them hopefully on my holiday. But yeah, if you're making this pattern, because the back of the hems at the back, if I show you, have darts in, if you don't get the length right to start with, you then got to start fiddling around with the darts. So check the pattern piece before you do and decide on the length you want. But yeah, made those as well. Now I know Adam from Adam Sews mentioned it in his video last week, but Andra Makes, and the lovely Andra, has put out a tutorial for a notebook cover, and it covers a certain size composition notebook. All the details I will put down below. I'll put the link to her tutorial in it. But I made one for my son for his birthday back in May, but I've made another one for one of the grandsons who's, you know, 6.5. He's starting to get into writing and things like that. And they're going camping for a week next week, so I wanted to make one. I am going to make one for the other grandson as well. I'll show you the fabric in a minute. But so this is the notebook cover with the notebook inside. You just slot inside, so once he's finished scribbling around you can take it out and put a new one in. So I've got dinosaur fabric there, dinosaur on the front. This is a pen holder here. There's room enough actually to slot 2 pens, so I'm going to put 2 washable fibre pens in there. So he's gonna love that, and I loved the colours on that. But because everything one of the boys has, the other one has to have, I thought even though he's, what, 2.5, he still loves copying his older brother and scribbling, so I'm going to do one for him as well. And I managed to find some, I've got some Lightning McQueen fabric left for him because he loves Lightning McQueen from film cars. From the binding I'll probably use some red, and then I'm struggling to find something for the inside, so I might just go Disney on that. I've got this cool bit of fabric here, so I've got to do that before they go next week. But it's a fabulous tutorial. All the sizes are there. She walks it through, makes it so easy. So yeah, if you want a little gift for someone, go over and watch her channel. I put out a collab video on Monday with the lovely Chris from Sew Notes. We both made a item out of one of the Lutterlo supplements, number 325. I made design number 24, and it was this lovely top here out of a viscose challis that I'd had for a long time, and I'm so glad I got round to using it. It was just sort of a plain top, no sleeves, but it had this tie detail at the front, which was created by a placket. Now this is something that is a really nice design, and you could put on anything, where you just create the placket inside, and you got some drawstrings. I've actually used it a long time ago on a dolman sleeve top I had, and you know where you used to have the drawstrings on the shoulders. I've actually used it, that method, before on shoulders, and I completely forgotten all about it. See if I can kind of recreate a bit for you. But yeah, it could be used in lots of dolman tops if you ever wanted to do that. But yeah, that was a fantastic collaboration we did. I was so pleased to be asked. Chris made the most fabulous dress in the most wonderful fabric. She called it a Liverpool knit fabric, and it's brilliant. I'll put the links to both my results and obviously Chris's results in the description box below if you haven't caught that video. So as for my plans for next week, because we're away sort of Sunday, Monday, I've only got a few days left before we actually go away on Saturday, but I still want to get some sewing done. I haven't got the boys next week because they're all camping. We've got Reggie, their dog, to keep Mickey company. But what I really like to get done, I have a list in my head. I would love to make another bucket hat. And I think I used the LB Sorrento hat, which was the most successful one I made last year. So I want to get one of those done. Also, the lovely Jen has been on her makes list. I think she's halfway through making it or trying to make it. She's going to make this knit dress here. And I had forgotten all about this pattern because every time I looked at this pattern, I saw it as a skirt and a top, something I probably wouldn't wear. But I didn't realise that there was a knitted dress there. Quite a simple knitted dress. Looks like it's kind of a drawstring gathered neckline. I thought that'd be quite a nice kind of throw on kind of dress. And I have this fabric here, but I can't remember where I got it from. But it's not a double brush poly, but it's similar to, and it's almost so similar to a French terry because it's got a very strange backing. But it's really soft, really drapey. If I have the time, I really want to try and make this because it'd be a nice kind of throw on devil may care dress. Also, I did consider, now I don't make skirts and I've never made a denim skirt, but I can see that having one every now and again could be kind of useful. And I wondered if I'm just going to make this quick skirt up here. Not necessarily to go with the striped top I made, but it's a quick little skirt. I've got a light piece of denim here. It's kind of very lightweight, very soft. I might, if I have time, try and make one of those up because again it's quite a versatile piece. What I may do, if I do make it up, I'm going to put some back pockets on because a skirt without pockets will drive me insane. So I need someone to put my phone or a tissue. So yeah, those are the things that I would really, really like to get done next week. The other thing I must do is to get cracking on my Busy Bee Challenge number 2 because that video will be out and the results will be out at the end of August. I'll be away, so I need to get cracking and do that before I go away. But yeah, it's all coming together. I know what I'm doing now. I just sort of do the finishing touches, but don't forget to look out for that at the end of August because I probably won't be doing any filming when I'm on holiday to remind you. But yeah, that's going to be amazing, seeing how we transformed some either fabric or some stuff that we got from the charity shop, an item, but yeah, I look forward to showing what I did with that. Thanks ever so much for joining me once again. I never say it much, but I am so grateful to everybody that subscribes and that chats to me every week. It's just overwhelming, and I'm so pleased that I joined the YouTube community because look at me, I met somebody that lived the other side of the world from me. I've met the lovely ladies in Florida. I met Adam from down the road and Jen. It's just fantastic, and I'm so grateful to you all for completely changing my life with my sewing channel. The photos I'm going to leave you at the end was, of course, with the photos that I took when I was with Katinka. It was amazing. As you can tell, I was just so thrilled that she came to visit me. So I'll put those photos up at the end and any more that might take my fancy that I took last week. Thank you again for joining me, and I will see you shortly. Have a wonderful weekend full of sewing and craft. Goodbye for now.